stock splits. You ever heard of stock splits? Now, back in 2020, you saw Apple issue stocks. Well, actually, split their stocks to make them cheaper for people to buy, which goes into why they actually do it. Why does a stock split take place? Now, let's say you have a company that went public years ago and the price of the stock is $10. Then it gets so popular, it goes to $100, it goes to $1,000. Now, if you're someone who's investing $10,000 or $1,000, you can afford a stock that's $10, but if the stock is $1,500 and you only have $1,000, that means you can't afford to have it, right? Does it make sense? So what some of these companies do when that happens is the stock grows so big that is worth, let's say $5,000. They then do a stock split where they cut it down to size, so to speak. So let's say you had one stock that was $1 and then went to $20 per share. Then you chop it up into 20 pieces so they're back down to $1. Now, if you hold that amount in the dollar amount of whatever your shares were, that doesn't change. It just means you have more shares that you own, you have more stock that you own, right? But the dollar amount remains the same. And it opens up the opportunity for other people, more investors in theory, to go in and buy it. But at the end of the day, if we're in 2022 or this decade, what have you, it doesn't really make that much of a difference because at the end of the day, you have fractionalized shares that you can buy now through all of the investment apps. So let's say you want to buy $1 of Amazon, even if the stock of Amazon is $1,000, you can do that. So it really is more so a gimmick thing and something with the bigger institutions that don't use the retail investor platforms like Robinhood, like Acorn, so on and so forth. But it is a cool thing to talk about. It gets some nice PR for them, and it actually opens up the avenue where people can own a whole, and not a fractionalized, but a whole share for much less than they could before. So that's all a stock split is. Just basically taking something that's worth a certain amount, chopping it up into pieces so you can buy a piece of that. That's all it is.